Per usual. Wait, I need to do it with you. Hi
I know you can't see it as
everybody.
much.
You can't see it with the background on yours. How are we doing this morning? Do we have anybody here? Oh, there we go. We got some people. We're looking
I couldn't
alive.
see.
I was like, oh, good. We actually have some breaking news
Oh,
that just happened like right now. And that is that Taylor from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, she's
yes.
posted first, she posted in her stories a picture of her and the baby, and it said something like new chapters or something like that. And so we were like, wait, does that mean she's breaking up with Dakota? And
Her
then now
baby.
her baby, yes.
Okay, you said she posted some pictures with the baby, and I was like, the rapper?
Y-
Like, I'm like, what are you talking about right now? I'm like, what is happening in Salt Lake
You're like,
City?
wait a minute, why? How would that have even happened?
Because you kind of went fast. I'm like, no, let's go back to that for a minute. Why are they
Imagine, I was
together?
like, yeah, duh baby, what? Like, that's totally normal.
Right.
So she posted that in her stories where we were like, wait, does this mean she broke up with Dakota? Well, now she's posted this TikTok,
Mm.
and the comments on it lead me to believe she has. Okay, we don't. She's sobbing. She's crying. Okay. And so then here is what the comments are. We got Macy saying, this new chapter will be better than ever. Lean on us. We got you, baby. And Michaela saying, always here for you, BB. So she's left Dakota, right? That's what she's telling us, right?
Let's hope. There was no
Right.
future in the relationship. So yeah, let's just move on. And you're on a reality show now. You've got the rest of the best years are ahead of you. So get him out of there and do what you need to do.
Yeah, when he made Macy take pictures of them at her professional business photo shoot, I was like, just this alone is like, so what the fuck? This is so rude.
User. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what a total user. Oh, I was so disturbed by that. Made me mad. Happy Sunday, everybody in the chat. Just wanted to say hello to you guys here. Hi.
Yes.
You're here. Hi. Okay, now on to the next weird little topic. Is Kendrick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to be seen, but the background is so blurry that it's like
Kendrick
I'm just disappearing.
Kendrick's deep cleaning, so he doesn't have he didn't have time to do his usual setup, so he's using the green screen for those who are just listening, and it just keeps swallowing him.
Yeah,
so
all the time.
If he doesn't move right, it's just there's no Kendrick. Kendrick is gone. Yeah, so he's doing some fun stuff here. So Alexis Bellino. Okay, we already know she's a little kookadoo, but she posted this really weird thing on Instagram. I'll read it, but I'll also put it up on the screen just because I want you guys to see the face she's making in the picture. She's kind of like being a little sassy, like that kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of face. This is what the caption reads.
Her hair looks good though.
Her hair looks great. Yes,
I'll give her that.
Great. This is just okay. Sorry, hold on. I gotta not try to make fun of her before I even start. All right. I just want to let everyone know that what you're seeing in my career is not real. Career?
What a choice of words.
It's whoa. What did I just touch? It's not the truth. There has been so much left out intentionally to paint me in a bad light. It's okay. I'll take one for the team to get ratings for this business, but I will live in truth and I will bring the truth, whether I have to do it here on my Instagram page or if this career I chose decides to bring the truth out. Either way, it will come out and you will also see the true Alexis, because what you're seeing on TV right now is not me. I love you all, and I do not hate you for hating me because I would hate me too if I were you. But just hang tight. I'll be speaking the truth after every episode of what has been left out intentionally to paint me as someone I don't even know. It will actually intrigue you all.
Oh, wrong road. Wrong road. Now see.
What career? You need to stop, girl. She's trying so hard to be like, I have chosen this career. It's like, you are a friend.
You're right. Let me, because I feel randomly passionate about this. Alexis, you literally, had you not like done any of this online, so that if you don't do any of this stuff going forward, they would have probably brought you back, just because like you're like the meat and potatoes of the season. You, Shannon, and John, like y'all are a big storyline. You're an OG on the show. Like they would have brought you back. Like, you know, all you need is to, everyone, I just did a serum on my face, so I'm not crying, I promise. Emily watched me. Fine girl. But you would have probably been brought back. She's making the same mistake that, I don't know if we got any Basketball Wives fans in the audience, but OG from Basketball Wives, that last season that they did where they like brought, it was like during COVID, so they brought everyone to this like house and they had to like quarantine. It was 2 separate houses and stuff. OG didn't like the way she was edited on the show like previously, so she came into that season. Every single conversation she had on camera with like someone that she was supposed to have like conflict with, she recorded on her phone, like full unedited raw audio. So after every episode, if they edited her to look like the bad guy, she would upload that whole conversation on like Instagram stuff for people to listen to. And so I get it, that's your vindication. But also, like, if you're looking to go on reality TV to like have a career in it, you got to know that you're going to get bad at it sometimes, and that the people that like play the game are the ones that are going to get brought back. If they know like, okay, we can edit it this way, she won't care, she'll go along with it, she'll play the game, then they'll bring you back. But if you choose not to be a team player, then they're going to get you out of here. It sounds like you and John want more than anything to be on this show. So you going down the wrong road by doing this, because those Bravo people, they not going to care. You keep releasing all this stuff online.
Well, and this is after the episode where she's a lunatic. You know, Emily's talking about how, did you watch the episode?
I was just thinking, I don't think I've watched the most recent one. Oh,
okay. So in the episode, Emily confronts Heather about all the fashion show stuff that she views as a slight. And in her attempt to say, like, I felt ugly, she says, I couldn't feel good in the dress because I was next to Alexis, who was wearing the same dress. Alexis, because she's not so smart, gets mad. She's like, I didn't do anything. What did I do? And then it won't stop. And Jen, the most patient of all of them, even Jen is like, I'm going to kill you. She's so irritated because Alexis won't drop it. Alexis is crying. She's like, I am at my lowest point, and she pulled me into it. And Jen's like, it wasn't about you. It was a compliment.
God.
And so this is her trying to say that this was editing. Nope.
No, that's you, Alexis. And you literally like couldn't be cool if you tried. And that's the sad part about it. Like, you can't even fake being cool. This is so on brand for Alexis. And I actually hate this for her, because I feel like going forward, she can get like 2 more years out of this show if she really wanted to, because like we need to see the wedding, we need to see what they're doing like in their married life, and we need to see all of that, how Shannon's dealing with it, like all this kind of stuff. She's about to write her pink slip, like herself, immediately off this show. I feel like the reunion is going to be the last time we see her now. And I mean, good for Shannon, but terrible for viewers and for Alexis and Johnny J.
And she thinks that by saying, whether I have to bring the truth here on my Instagram page, or if this career I chose decides to bring out the truth, it's like she knows she's blasting her employer, so she's trying to do it in a way that will like maintain her in good standing with them,
right?
But there's no way to do that. You can't say that they're editing you to look bad, but then also be like, but I love them and I'll do whatever it takes for the business. I'll take one for the team for the ratings.
Yep. All bad approach.
No, she's a little nuts. She's a
Yeah.
little nutso, I'm telling you right
Oh,
now.
Lexi Poo. Oh,
Yeah.
Lexi Poo.
Jesus Jugs. Still one of the still one of the best reads ever. It was,
It stood the test of time.
it
It
did.
really did.
You are psychotic Jesus Jugs. Like
Yes.
was that the first time she said that? Damn, that was good.
I also, people that describe reality TV as a career
I know.
make me a
I
little
don't like it.
uncomfortable. Right.
I don't like it.
And we know, like, it's our, like, it's one of the things we talk about the most, but it's like it feels like, how like rappers that are like not like a Nicki Minaj, but they're like they're one of my favorite rappers or your favorite rappers, like the masses don't know about them. It's those people that, like, you see them spending like so much money all the time, and you ever just stop and wonder, like, oh God, what's your plan for like 5 years from now? Like, if you're not at that level, like, I wonder all the time. Like, reality TV stars are the same way. I'm like, okay,
Yes.
you're doing this show right now. It's still on air. It hasn't gotten canceled. So, like, I get it. Like, some of them rely on it for, like, Housewives will probably stay for a while. Like, that's a recurring brand. They got Peacock to fall back on. They can put them on there if they need to, like, whatever. But reality stars in general, it's like you got a shelf life. And anybody with a shelf like a lot of, this is so bad because I know, like, adjacent. But, like, the influencer people that you see, like, spending tons of money and doing this and that. And I'm like, are people going to care about your cooking videos in 2 years when, like, 300 other people come out every day with cooking? It's scary. It's like, what's your future plan? So Alexis calling this a career speaks more to her mind state than anything. It's like, that's how you see this?
Yeah, no, I'm with you too. There's something about, I don't want to know that the people on the show are looking at it like a business.
Yes.
I need it to feel like we're capturing your life. The cameras just happen to be there. Not you are intentionally doing this for a career. I'm like,
right.
That's icky to me. Don't call it that. Because even like longstanding housewives would never call it their career.
Right.
In fact, they do the opposite. They're always like, I got to find something to do. And you see them trying to start another business. They don't ever say that this is the career that they have.
Everybody is not for every Candy Burris you have, there are 300 others that don't go down the same path. Like, we knew Candy was going to be okay because she could write songs, so she was going to be okay regardless. But she is the definition of capitalizing on reality TV. Like, she did what she needed to do, and so when the time came to where she was like, I don't want to do this anymore, she didn't have a fear of letting go of a $2 million a year check because she knows she can get more than that at the drop of a dime now. So everybody ain't Candace, and Alexis, you Alexis. Are not Candace.
Like,
you
cannot claim it as a career when you've just come back this year and you're a friend.
Yeah. Not the
best. Not yet.
Mm-mm.
You can maybe call it that maybe you can do it in 3 years. Fine. Maybe in 3 years.
We'll let you have that. Right.
But now you've only just come back and you're barely hanging on.
Yikums.
So
yikums.
Oops. Bye, girl.
Yeah. Ugh.
Well, let's stay in the Orange County realm because I have paid no attention to David Beador. In fact, I like David and Lesley, that wife of his.
Is that the one he takes naked pictures with?
Exactly. Exactly. Like that kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't need to see it. But it's apparently been very, very disgusting and toxic and horrible. They have filed for divorce like 5 times. Yes, and the most recent one, which actually isn't the first time, Lesley has filed for a restraining order against him. So according to Lesley, David's latest outburst occurred on Monday, September 9th, when her ex-husband, Erik's, came to pick up the 2 kids. She claims
spell that. Eriks.
Yeah, I know. There's no need for the S. I know. That's a last name. Why'd you
exactly.
Okay. I know someone though who's named Adams with an S.
Oh, I kind of like that. I'm not even gonna lie.
It also does the same thing where I'm like,
yeah,
isn't that anyway?
Not a necessary S. Yes, absolutely.
David apparently stormed outside and began yelling obscenities at Erik's while he waited in his car with the window up. All the children were present and witness to David's behavior towards Erik's. It was very scary. I recorded this whole incident and will provide videos to the court. All my children are terrified by David's behavior. After this incident, I received about 59 harassing texts from David in a row telling me I was having sex with Erik's, I should go have sex with him, and accusing me of all kinds of things that could never be possible. David truly needs help. He gets in an obsessive mania state. So here's the thing, though. In 2022, the same ex-husband filed a restraining order against David. So this isn't even the first time.
Oh.
Yeah. And then Lesley posted some of the text messages from David.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Are you ready? Okay, here's some of them. And you two lovebirds both call me the monster. You both stealing from me to support your baby daddy. I'm setting a boundary. Great, you're so toxic. You might be right. I have PTSD from you two lovebirds and your continued attacks on how I caused all the strife in your two lives because I felt your baby daddy should pay child support for your two children, and you two both felt I should have happily pay and let Erik's off to spend his money on himself. At the end of the day, I am to blame because Erik should pay child support. You said that over and over. She also then went on her Instagram and showed a like proof that Erik's has been paying child support. I don't know what I think she might have posted like a letter or something that showed he pays child support.
Yeesh.
Lesley then tells him, why don't you see someone? You need a therapist. And he says, I suggest you get off your ass this week. Now that Anna, their kid, Anna is in school, and look for a fucking job. And at peace with leaving the two users and abusers as well. You two truly belong together. I saw him winking at you and you at him. It's on my video, two fucking users. It goes on and on. Then she'll be like, please stop harassing me. And then he won't. He says some real wild stuff. Coming from you, that's wild. I've only seen people act like this. That might be Lesley. Hold on. A manipulative liar, evil woman. You will rot in hell where you belong. You're going to teach Anna to be evil like you, to treat men with such disrespect. She will be sad, lonely, just like you. You hated your father and you want Anna to hate hers. Your evilness. Hope you're happy now. You got your feeling out of you, you fucking psychopath. David was also.
Ooh. Keep going. No, keep going. Ooh,
it's a lot, isn't it? What did you steal from me today, you fucking thief? What will I discover tomorrow? With that was in an email. Mm-hmm. Yes. And then because as fans may recall, David and Lesley began struggling in late 2022. And in the years since, he's filed for divorce 3 times. And one of the filings, he said, Lesley routinely tells me I am abusive when I disagree with her or make my opinions known. She has a habit of texting me consistently for hours at a time, trying to spark a reaction out of me. I believe Lesley is angry because I cut off the unlimited spending ability on her credit cards over the weekend. And then next month is the October hearing to see if Lesley's temporary restraining order will stick. Because it'll either be, it has stuck, but it has to be either extended or thrown out or something like that.
Okay.
At one point, he even said something about how Shannon was a dream compared to her. Oh, yeah. Shannon is a saint compared to your evil.
Oh.
Dude.
Oh. Dude. Not bringing an ex-wife into it.
What?
I'm like, I know Shannon, like, I got my own issues. Leave me out of this. I got enough going on over here.
I cannot believe that he was talking like that. So that's what David's been up to in his marriage.
Yikes. That's a lot.
Like, David sounds like a terror.
Yeah.
You know? So,
I mean, we've always known he was, but geez. I feel like this is way more detailed than Shannon ever was. My God.
You know what I just did accidentally? Because I have my notes app out where I have all my all the timestamps. I had hit the voice to text, so I just typed up everything I just said.
Are you on iOS 18 now?
Oh my God.
One?
Whatever the latest update was. Yeah.
That's what I just went to it yesterday, and I just was reading about that feature. I was like, oh, that's gonna be bad because I'm clicking stuff all the time accidentally.
Oopsies. Good to know that happened. So yeah, David Beador is out here being crazy. So Shannon knows how to pick them.
Yikes.
Yeah. Shannon has a type, and they're mean men.
Goodness. Whew.
All right, should we talk about Diddy now?
Oh God.
Let's do it. It happened, guys. Like, we have been following it here on this show since for a while, since just the lawsuits and stuff. So it is wild that now he is officially, like, his bail has been denied. He is on now routine. It's a routine suicide watch when you have high profile cases like this, but he is now on suicide watch because that bail was, they were like, sir, no.
Which I'm glad.
The way he was trying to plead for that, he's like, I won't see any women during that time. It's like, no, you won't see anybody, sir.
Right. Exactly.
You're not going to be able to be comfortable during this process. You are the epitome of a flight risk.
Yep.
Dude.
Are you about to go into the denial of the bail or the other, like everything else?
Go ahead. Whatever you want to say it.
So I was listening, my favorite podcast. I love Ebony K. Williams' podcast, her and Dustin Ross holding court. I listen to it they are my favorites. She came back from maternity leave to drop an episode about this because the thing I was most curious about, I was actually shocked that they didn't let him out on bail. Like Harvey Weinstein, I was actually shocked. I was like, oh, that's surprised, not shocked, but I was like, oh, I wonder what the reasoning was. She said that even though they had the kids turn over the passports, he turned over his. He's like, I'll sell the mansion to so I won't have a mortgage, and then I can put that up for collateral, all this kind of stuff. Even though that's okay, she said there's a whole nother component to bail when it's that kind of high profile, high risk, that kind of thing. And she says that what they don't always talk about is the fact that will society be safe if you're actually out there? And that's something that they can't prove because they use, I know you're going to get into it because we talked about it last week, they used as evidence the fact that he called and basically witness tampered with Kalina from Diddy Dirty Money, called her 51 times. And they're like, okay, so if you're about to get out of jail and basically go and witness tamper with all these people that we have as evidences for, not evidences, I sound like Teresa Giudice right now, as evidence, as evidence for all of this, then you need to be behind bars. You don't need to be making phone calls. You just be in there on your own, not bothering the public. So that was the main reason why he got denied, because he's basically out here witness tampering.
No, when the fact that we just last week, there was a new lawsuit that had been filed by Don Richard. And I was like, but hold on, here's something that's kind of weird. And Kalina had come out with a statement that we even noted was very carefully written. It was this is a very respectful, but it still was negating the thing. It was the statement was, while I fully respect Dawn's right to recount her experiences, I want to emphasize that her account reflects her personal perspective and should not be interpreted as a universal truth applicable to everyone involved. It was such a careful, but to find out that it's because his ass called her 54 times in a single day.
Right.
We're like, that's literally why. But it's a trip because we were like, this is kind of weird, isn't it? Well, because he literally harassed her. That's crazy.
Ooh, it's a mess. And that makes so much sense now, because there was two, no shade, Kalina, but that was too well written of a statement. I was like, okay, who? Because that was not only it hit all the points. Not only was it good for women everywhere, it was a powerful statement saying, I support what you're saying, but it was not my experience. It was also fully leave me out of it. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I can't tell you about Diddy. I didn't do none of that. Okay. And so she covered all her bases. Well, his lawyers covered all
exactly.
Their bases. So that's a trip. That's a trip.
To see it that black and white, that real, okay. So he really was out here doing that. So
right.
Oh yeah. So he is now stuck stuck in there. Get back in there, Diddy. Another big thing that's come out where I get chills just thinking about it. The prosecution shared alleged text messages from Diddy to Cassie following the attack on her in 2016, where he says, "Call me, the cops are here. I got 6 kids. You please call me. I'm surrounded. You're gonna abandon me all alone." Oh, that's so classic abuser.
Exactly, narcissist, manipulator.
Like, this is your fault. Your
exactly.
fault. Now, you're gonna abandon me. You're gonna Oh, he's such a piece of shit. I did make content about this, so it's a little repetitive, but I did not remember when Diddy went by Love. I did not remember that phase in our, because so much was happening. Like, it was COVID and like, there's a lot was going on. So I could not really take that in. But when I looked into it, he changed his name to Love and is quoted in Vanity Fair as saying it's because he was inspired by the Me Too movement.
Oh boy.
I can't believe that.
It makes you not want to trust like any celebrity. Like, it's just like, I feel like nowadays we're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I almost don't want to like publicly support anyone. It's scary.
So bad. Like, how can you even say that? This was in 2021. Shit was still happening. And he also has this back tattoo. I'm going to show the back tattoo. So it's a lot of Haitian people think that this is of the spirit that's known for protecting women and children. He's never confirmed that that's what it is, but a lot of people are saying that this was like his curse on himself. Like, this is why he ended up, because he basically tattooed himself. He also tattooed himself with this big old love tattoo all down the side of his torso, which is so desperate and psycho.
Right.
It's like, but I'm love. That was his whole thing. I am love now. And he was like a whole different person when he was doing these press tours. He was like jumping up and down, like, I am love. Who the fuck? Oh, scary shit.
Right. That was around the time Cassie. Well, no. She had been left and like gone and got her forever, right? Her husband. Okay, yeah.
But I think something else was filed in 2017. There was a 2017 lawsuit that's not addressed by him in this 2021 Vanity Fair article when he's sitting there talking about, because what did they do when that person came out in 2017? Oh, just looking for a payday. That's what all the rich people told us growing up. Like, I remember thinking that was totally true. All people who accuse rich people of doing things are just trying to get money.
Right.
But like, no, that's not what's been happening. Also, what's resurfaced, I did not remember that he had this like adopted daughter thing. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna add this to the stage.
On the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up. And said to come inside and play with his kids.
Just clarify, because it's crazy out here online. So play with the kids, and I got permission from your mother, and say all of that. So just make it, because it's crazy out here.
Well, I met Jesse and Lyle when I was 6 months old.
6 months.
And then we basically are sisters, all 4 of us.
What the fuck?
I always come over.
Yes. And it's Ava Brioni Combs.
Does anyone know what became of that little girl?
Why have I never heard? I never knew this. Like, ever. I never saw that live or anything. Who is that white child?
That is so disturbing.
The kiss too.
He's like, tell the people you want to be here.
How creepy. That feels cultish.
Right? I know. I'm looking at all the comment. My skin is crawling. I know. My skin is crawling too, you guys. Isn't that so awful?
That is a blind spot in my pop culture knowledge. I knew nothing about this child. Nothing. Ooh.
I know that. I know. Really, really not okay.
Yikes.
Also, what a lot of stuff resurfacing too, speaking of like the kid stuff, is the Justin Bieber stuff. Now, if you've been following this case, it's not new news because we've all those of us who've been following this have been knowing about it.
Yes.
But there's this video. I won't show it because I can't. It's like very hard to tell what's happening. And allegedly, what's happening is who is it in the video? Odell Beck. Hold on. Let me look it up real quick. Hold on. I don't want to get I don't want to say the wrong name. I don't want to say the wrong name because that won't be good. Hold on. Justin Bieber, Diddy video. No, that's not it. Isn't it Odell Beckham? Isn't it Odell?
I'm sure he's a creep too. So
right? Isn't it? And then it was like Trey Songz or something in the video. Okay.
All the worst people.
Yeah. So it's a video of what looks to be like they're taking a video and Justin Bieber comes up from like that one of their crotch areas and is like, what? It's a very weird video.
It was Odell. Yeah, it was Odell Beckham Jr.
Right. Okay. I didn't want to say the wrong. I was like, I don't want to throw the wrong person under the bus, but a lot of people like Jaguar Wright has been speaking out about this for so long and no one has believed her. Yes. It's tough because when like for Jaguar Wright to have known all of this was happening, no one's going to believe you. You're going to go crazy. Like you're going to look insane.
It's almost the thing that would piss me off the most is sitting around looking at all the other people that know too, but are choosing to stay silent about it. Because literally, she is one of how many people that's like tried to tell us like Diddy is a monster. Diddy is a monster. He's abusive. He shoots at people. He had Tupac killed. He did this. He did that. Telling us all this different stuff about him, and everybody just like, oh well, he just put out a new great song though that I like, and no one cares to believe it. It's like shit.
It was someone said this about R. Kelly. I can't remember what commentator. It might have been on the Daily Show. They're like the problem with when they start to talk about R. Kelly in this light is then they end up playing one of his bops.
Right.
You're like, oh, Ignition. I love this song. So they need to like stop playing his music when they bring up R. Kelly because
exactly.
It's like stop because it's got nostalgia to it. You're like, stop it, you guys.
Literally
turn it off.
This is probably a blind spot in your pop culture memory. Do you remember when R. Kelly put out a gospel album?
Yes.
Okay. I was that album was so good, but now I can't listen to it. I'm like, damn it, R. Kelly. Man, that was that album jammed, okay? Like it had everybody on. I was like, it got me through my Sundays, okay? But now I'm like, I don't want to listen to that. I don't know what you were doing in the booth while you were making those damn songs. Yeah.
Like beating women between
exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, the Justin Bieber stuff has been speculated for a long time. There's also a weird video of you can hear Diddy being like, "How come you don't call me anymore? How come you don't answer my calls or whatever?" And then it looks like he's feeling him up for a wire because he like starts like kind of. Someone speculates that, but like, and at this point, I'm prone to believe anything.
Yeah,
people speculate because it was like the worst of the worst was really happening. But Justin is obviously not okay. He talks openly, but not like specific about the shit that's happened to him. So something happened to him. And Usher is
I knew we were going there. That's been the main one. Like Justin Bieber was, a little, around, but like Usher, that's the one we were always like, okay. That's the weird relationship. Like, we had heard that like Usher was up in there, like basically like underage being raised by Diddy, like in the studio, in his house, like all this kind of stuff was exposed to wild shit. Like from people said had to do some wild shit too. So it's like, oh, that's the one. Like that's who we need. And then him. All of a sudden, I'm sure that's where you're about to go, but all of a sudden deleting all these old tweets that he had out there.
Oh, I didn't know
didn't see that.
What? Usher was?
His Twitter feed is wiped clean.
Shut up.
As of like maybe yesterday.
No.
Wiped clean.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, shoes are about to drop everywhere. And I'm afraid that like
Did you see Neo's baby mama or wife or ex-wife or whatever posted a video. It was like, oh yeah, he's named in the lawsuit. I think the most recent lawsuit even, and I think Lil Rod's. A lot of names keep popping up. Usher's name keeps popping up. It's, and I think that someone I think I saw someone say, Alexis, it might have been you who might have said, I can't see what you're about to show me, Kendrick. Because
Usher Raymond Jr., there's nothing there to see.
Shut up. It's empty?
Completely empty. There's you in the corner. Hey, girl.
But Alexis, I think Alexis said, Alexis, you did say that Usher was the one who allegedly kind of handed Bieber over.
Yes.
And that's so classic. That's so typical. Like, you know, a lot of the time they groom you to get you to become the perpetrator again, like to assist them and whatnot.
Exactly. Yes, Cordell from Love Island's brother. Yes.
Wait, that's what I was wondering. So it is that guy. He's gross. Damn, but he's so hot.
Yes.
God damn it. Because when he did that video call when they did the family phone calls, and I was like, oh my word, this is so attractive. Like got that thick football neck and like that deep.
Yes.
Oh, he was good looking.
Tattoos.
Damn it. Oh shit. Okay. Well, Jesus. See, now we can't have anything.
Literally anything.
We can't have anything. Okay, let's put a little good news. It isn't good news. It's actually very heartbreaking. But Shine has been able to speak out, and I want to watch that.
Okay, because I skipped over it.
An 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do.
Hold on, wait.
Nothing other than.
I don't remember who told me this, but someone DM'd me that they're like, I heard someone say that he was what's his national? Is he Belize? Is he from Belize?
Oh, I don't know.
They said he was like maybe they said a Haitian. I can't remember something, but Obama. Do you not see Obama with him? He's got like the same like soft I don't know. I can't unsee it.
Both of the waves on swim. I can see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Do what all of us want to do. Be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. So that is the context by which you must always describe that relationship. Yes, I forgave, I moved on, but let us not pretend as if I was in Miami for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
I spent a birthday with him once. I saw a birthday cake.
I went again to do a charity event for impoverished youth in London. So let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life and who I forgave and who I moved on, and for the better interest of Belize, because he was in a position at that time to give scholarships and to maybe invest. I would not deny attempting to bring the investment to Belize and to bring the contributions to education to Belize, but don't distort it as if, he and I were bombale. This is someone that destroyed my life, but do I take any joy or any satisfaction with what he is going through? Absolutely not. I would. I am different.
I would.
Than maybe other people. No one needs to fail for me to succeed.
Aww.
No one needs to suffer
at the height of your professional.
All right, we're gonna go. I feel so bad for him. He really Diddy ruined so many lives, but he really ruined
so many careers. Yes, it sucks because, and that's what's so crazy, because like people would put out like bangers of albums and we never see them again.
I know,
because he had signed such a sucky contract. He'd take all the money and then move on to the next act, and it's like it became a curse. Like Nicki Minaj, he was like trying to get Nicki Minaj to sign to him so bad early in her career. And she kept kind of putting them off, like, I'm trying to see my options and all this kind of stuff. And good, thank God, because he wants to like really be involved in like managing her and all like that. I'm so glad that like.
Oh wow! So she like narrowly escaped it. Oh, that's so sad. Well, and really, like this is monumental news here. Netflix has bought the docuseries that 50
Diddy.
Cent has been working on. This is awesome. This is fucking cool.
The pettiest man on the planet. I love it.
Produced by his production, Jackson's G Unit Film and Production Studio. So they produced it. There was a bidding war for this docuseries. So he got to make money. And I believe he said he's donating the profits to victims of sexual violence or something like that.
Oh, go him.
I know, because like he's an amazing businessman. I've had two different people have told me I should read his book. So I think I might read a book, but I did order Kim Porter's book. That's coming. That should be here, and I will report back. I do have some excerpts from it, but I need to see what this is.
Yes. 50 Cent has like turned stars all the way around. Like his shows, like I've never seen one show. Like he's like the Game of Thrones of stars. And I know that sounds absolutely insane, but like the way he had one show that became uber successful, everybody sat their asses down on Friday nights because they dropped it at midnight on Saturday. And they would sit their ass down on Friday or Saturday nights and they would watch Power. And the fact that we have 5 spinoffs going at the same time based off of Power is insane. Like that man has been, they are loving 50 Cent and stars. I don't know where he go next, but he got some time. Okay. He got some things, some money, some stuff. And those liquor companies love 50 Cent because he promotes the hell out of them. My God.
They do. And so speaking of, so we got that happening. Kim Porter. So if you don't know already, Kim Porter, the issue around her death is that no one can prove it, but it felt like Diddy had something to do with it. She was young. She was in her 40s when she passed of pneumonia or some illness that doesn't normally kill you.
Right.
And she it's a 60-page book that was published. It's now #1 on Amazon. And it's basically it was published by Chris Todd, who is a Los Angeles producer who alleges that the book contains details Porter saved on a flash drive and gave to friends prior to her sudden death almost 6 years ago. Okay. Hold on. It gets even crazier. The book describes alleged philandering with both male and female top musicians and rappers and orgies at his home in which Porter took part. The memoir also has accounts of Diddy allegedly abusing Porter and even making death threats towards her. Porter recounts discovering and making copies of tapes Diddy made of himself having sex with, quote, young boys he was managing, including an alleged tape involving an 18-year-old pop star who went on to be a household name. Porter's alleged final entry sees Porter falling ill, texting her friends saying, "He got me," and then calling the emergency number 911.
No.
So it's in the mail. I will read a book.
What's the name of the book?
It's called Kim's Last Words or Kim's Lost Words.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Are we really saying that there's an entry in there that says he got me? I mean, there's no reason why she wouldn't assume it. He was abusing her and terrorizing her. So yeah, why wouldn't she think he's gonna get me? Especially if he's made threats to do. So yeah.
Oh,
I know. And that's huge because Kim Porter, like, it was such a tragedy when she died and he, acted like he was just so sad about it, but everyone was questioning. There's also been questions if he ordered the hit on Tupac. Like, that's there. Also, did he order the hit on Biggie? It's so much is about to come out. Like, this is about to be the most monumental trial.
Yes. Oh my God, I hope they televise it.
I know. I hope they televise it too. Someone was saying that they won't because it's a federal case.
Damn it, man.
I know.
Damn it.
I know. We deserve it, though. We fucking deserve it.
Make an exception this one time. Damn it.
I know. Come on. It's like, it's got to happen. Also,
I hope I don't.
Oh, go ahead.
Along this same exact story. God, I want to make sure I'm not talking about the same I hope I got the right characters. I think Al B. Sure was in the news this week, like the past couple of days, because he was saying that Quincy should have his mother's body exhumed. In that, are you going there? Are you going there?
No. But I agree. Go ahead. I didn't have it in my notes.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, he said that he, obviously he can't do it. So he's like, I think that Quincy should have her body exhumed. I think we'll learn a whole lot more about that because he thinks he's been the most vocal person more than anybody that's been saying that Diddy has something to do with Kim Porter's death.
Yes, he has.
And I literally, Quincy, I know you probably won't hear this, you won't see this at all, but listen, go talk to your daddy. I don't know how often y'all talk or, what the situation is or who, I think you consider probably Diddy more of a father, but listen, I think that would change if you knew that he did something with, your mother, if he had something to do with her death. So listen, open arms, open ears, go hear what he has to say because I wouldn't be turning over my passport if I knew all this shit. I'm just saying.
No, it's not. There's also, what I was going to say is there's another video that's going around of this guy, Jonathan Odie or I think it's Odie, who was in 2018, he was in an interrogation and claimed that he had been a sex slave for Diddy and for Cassie. And this is going around everywhere. But I did want to give a little context because this is the guy that he was open fire shooting inside of a Trump National Hotel in Miami. And so this was with the information from that. And so he had unfolded I'm reading from this. He unfolded a gigantic American flag over a lobby counter and then proceeded to get into a shootout with the police. And during the shootout, he was allegedly ranting about 3 people, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, and Diddy. So, yeah, he was yelling things like Trump is Hitler, Obama is Osama, kill all police, etc.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, you could go ahead and believe it because it does seem like there could be some truth to it, because it was like, wow, that's very specific that he has all these names right. But it's tough because if you watch the entire thing or read the entire breakdown of what he says, it reads like the markings of a crazy person. You see him talking about Illuminati, animal blood sacrifices, their agenda to kill Donald Trump, DJ Khaled being a Hamas supporter. Obama did 9/11. Osama bin Laden was actually Obama in a cave talking shit. Tupac is still alive in Cuba. Something called the Ciroc agenda. And if this person says, and if I'm interpreting him correctly, I'm pretty sure he says Diddy buys his drugs directly from the DEA. So take what this man has to say with the greatest salt.
What a range of lunatickings. Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean?
Except the Tupac thing. I can believe he's in Cuba. I'm just saying, but
Oh, I hope he is. I hope he's in
Would
Cuba,
love that.
living his best life. I hope he's not dead. But yeah, so a lot of people have sent me that. I'm like, I don't really know if I want to believe this. I don't know if this might kind of discredit the case a little bit. So let's just focus on what we know. And that is Kim Porter speaks from the dead.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh,
so,
goodness.
So thank God. Okay. So wow. After all that, man, sorry. I do want to talk about monsters. Do we have time still? We can do it. We can fit it in.
Yeah.
We can fit it in. So now, Kendrick, I've been pretty open about what I feel about it. You and I have yet to discuss what you really feel about it. Because I had texted Kendrick.
We've been talking about it nonstop, but I've now finished it. So yes.
Yes. So we were texting kind of throughout. And when I got to the end, because Kendrick had said, okay, when you get to the end, give me your rating on it. And so when I got to the end, I was like, oh, I really didn't expect it to end like that. So now, and the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, I think I'm a little upset. So Kendrick, what was your take?
Okay. If I'm rating it as a standalone Ryan Murphy thing, I'll probably go maybe 6.5. 7, maybe 7. I don't know, on a good day. If I'm comparing it to season 1 of Monster, which was all about Jeffrey Dahmer, it's like a 2. And that's a vast difference, because I think that the Dahmer series was masterful in a lot of things. Like, we can argue about like the actual facts and all that kind of stuff, but I thought it did a great job of actually highlighting the victims. It did a great job of like recreating some of that, like the courtroom footage and all this kind of stuff. Niecy Nash and Evan Peters were fan-fucking-tastic. I'm not gonna lie to you, and by the end of the show, they had changed my mind. But probably maybe the first 4 episodes, I was not sure anybody on this show could act on this season. The Menendez brothers, I wasn't sure if anyone could act.
Even Javier Bardem.
Even Javier, I was like, I'm not sure about these choices. I don't know, but of course, the parents definitely turned me around. It took to episode 5 before Erik, because that was when I was the most like I wasn't sure about him at all. I was like, okay, girl, this your first gig. I think I don't know, but they took a chance on you. I guess that's nice. But by the time episode 5 was done, because when he had that single tear come down while he was giving that little monologue, I was oh, okay, I'm feeling this a little bit. And as they went on, you can tell they like got way more comfortable, and they felt a little one note early on, because they were constantly like, everything had to be very scared. Okay, I got this gun. I'm very scared. I'm about to shit. It felt very one note, but they finally became like dynamic characters by the end of it. So I was like, okay, in that regard, it got much better. But goodness, I think my issue is your issue too. The whole kind of whodunit aspect of it, which is kind of like, do we actually believe they, were just pissed off and planned this, or do we believe that they were sexually, essayed, or YouTube don't demonetize, were they essayed, like whatever the case is. And so it's like, when I told you, because I think you started watching it, I told you, I was like, I remember the NBC, like Law and Order had an offshoot called Law and Order True Crime, and they did the Menendez brothers, and I remember that being so good, because Edie Falco was I want to say this, I think she got an Emmy nomination for that role,
probably,
and I was like, that is so deserved, because she was so good. The lawyer on this one,
she made really tough choices.
Tough choices.
I don't hate her choices, but I also hate her choices.
Yeah,
does that make sense? Like, the actual real person was a weird lady.
Yeah,
like she was tough to swallow. She wasn't the easiest person to like. However, she did really love Erik and believed him. So she wasn't a bad guy, but she was just like a really tough pill to swallow. She wasn't in a great package. She didn't present very well. It was like, you're trying to sell people on a very tough story, and she wasn't delivering it in a way that people could maybe digest it.
And it felt like she was cosplaying like someone from New Jersey sometimes. I don't know what, like, I don't know where the real like lawyer is from, but like it just felt like she was like constantly cosplaying someone from New Jersey. I don't think she's a bad actress at all. It was just like, I feel like Ryan Murphy Productions, I don't know what the hell it's called, but I feel like they made some very intentional choices for this show, and I'm not sure all of them landed with me. Like, I think they needed to, and they spent a lot of time like making this, because they started like right after Dahmer, I think, and it just feels like, I don't know, it felt like season 1 was so, but that goes to show you, when you have like the right actors playing the right roles, it can really, like, even if the script is awful, it can really elevate what the hell you're doing, because they can make the cheesiest shit on paper sound like the most poetic, like put together of lines in history. And I think that's what season 1's acting, I think for me, was just so phenomenal that it kept me hooked. I started rewatching season 1 before this came out, and I'm like still going, because I'm like, well, I kind of want to go back to that and see, but now I kind of want to go back and watch the Law and Order True Crime.
I want to rewatch that too, because I can't remember it. I only very vaguely remember Edie Falco being amazing.
But I remember them both had episodes or like themes throughout of her, the lawyer, basically feeling like she couldn't say anything to the judge because he was going to say overruled every single time. I remember both, like, that being very true in both of the shows. So it must have been, I wonder if she's like, obviously, people were watching the trial, but I wonder if that was something that she like came out and said, because
who came out and said
what's the lawyer's name? I'm blanking for some reason.
Now I can't remember it either. Damn it, Lesley.
Yeah,
Lesley something.
Lesley, yes. It felt like I'm wondering if she ever said anything, because this seemed to be like the prevailing theory on all the shows. Oh, did she? Okay.
Oh no, she would do interviews after and be like, he won't. The judge is so unfair. Like she was open about how pissed she was about how she also was really like the weird thing was, even people who were on her side were like, her tactics were a little confusing. She was objecting when the guy said hi. Like that was real. Like when the guy goes hi, she goes objection. And it's like he said hi. Like, right. So she was making it tough. She wasn't like, she might've been strong and she would fight, but she wasn't like, you do have to kind of present it so that people can hear it. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm going to go into my rant.
Yes.
If Ryan Murphy is going to take a true crime story like this, where people are still currently incarcerated.
Oh yes.
I think he should have brought a different perspective to it, as opposed to be like, I don't know, here's all the things we heard along the way, which truth do you believe? Because I'm like, look, you can do that, but I'm so sorry, the one thing we know is that they were abused.
Yeah,
we know that. All these cousins, I went and watched the Menendez murders, Erik Tells All, last night. I haven't finished it, but I was like, because I needed to be reminded of what happened. And in the trial, there were countless witnesses on behalf of the boys and zero for the dad. They couldn't find one person to say a nice thing about Jose Menendez, because he was such a piece of shit asshole. Yep. So if they're going to call it monsters, I kind of wondered if maybe that was going to be like tongue in cheek, like who's the real monster. But the way they because Kendrick and I were texting, and at one point you said it's a lot of camp, and I said yes, and it's like, should it be campy? For example, when they go to the jail, they made it look like some kind of cute, sexy getaway.
Right. And, yes.
They've described it as like you could hear people being tortured in cells, being raped. Like it was not a fun time, but they really made it seem like it was all kind of, woo, this isn't too bad. I mean, hey.
Erik was living his best life when he finally showered. Like, I mean, he had somebody giving him coins, like he can use the pay machine, he taking boner showers, getting head in the back. Like listen, things could be much worse. And it seemed like they were just coasting by. The worst thing that seemed to happen to them was when Lyle got that wig snatched off in the shower. I'm sorry, but the one thing for me is what me and my sister kept texting about. Every time somebody got their wig snatched on this show, I screamed, because I was like, why does this keep happening? Like, first it happened to the dad. She snaps his off. He goes, boy. And then it kept happening to Lyle. Then he's washing the wig, and I was like, this is like way too much. Like Ryan Murphy is like losing the plot a little bit. Like this is becoming like an episode of Drag Race.
What started to happen was I was like, oh, Ryan Murphy hates these guys. Ryan Murphy thinks that these guys are little fucking liars, because when he ended I said to Kendrick verbatim, I said, maybe my thought is maybe when this ends, I'll understand the use of the camp.
Yes.
However, that did not happen. When it got to the end, and it was like making Kitty and Jose seem like maybe just these sweet parents, and the brothers with the possibly incestuous sexual relationship were like the masterminds. I'm like, what the fuck? No, dude, you have just set us back so far.
Yep.
We already know what they did. They're literally serving life sentences. They have been punished. It's not like they're not doing that, but it wasn't a question of did this abuse occur? No one has done it.
And that's what he made it into.
Yeah. Like, are we sure? Could it be this? And they took a lot of liberties. For example, that Vanity Fair writer, that Dunn or whatever his name was, the one that played by Nathan Lane. He never wrote about how the brothers were caught having sex with each other.
Right.
He never did. I swear Ryan Murphy just wanted a scene of those two boys in the shower together. He was just like living out his gay fantasies.
Yes. And he does that
A lot.
Trust me, I am. Now, don't get me wrong. We all know that Aaron Hernandez was doing some things and some stuff, but this show, like,
did you already start it? I watched the first 2 episodes.
The night they came out, I was tuned in. Like, as bad as I talk about Ryan Murphy, like on stuff like this, I watch all his shit. I'm like, when he gets into the true crime of it, I watch all of it. Especially Aaron Hernandez. Maybe not the best choice of actor for this, but
I was going to say, I think it's pretty bad.
It kind of.
I actually feel like it's pretty bad.
Actor, though, so I'm like, okay, well, that's okay. The physical look, though, we could have nailed that a little.
Agreed. I was like, that's not working for me.
But then my other thing too is, when you compare this to Ryan Murphy's done like some tremendous true crime stuff. Like, he's done the season 1 of Monsters, which was Jeffrey Dahmer.
So many people didn't like that season 2. I realized I liked it. So many people hated it.
It was critically, like, people like that watched it loved it. But the thing was, so many of the victims' families came out and they were like, we had no heads up about this. We didn't know this was happening. Why are we having to constantly relive this trauma? And that's when people were like, oh shit, you're right. Like, that's wrong and weird. And they, according to Ryan Murphy and all them, they were like, no, we were talking to plenty of people about this show and getting firsthand accounts and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know what to believe there, but if I had to guess, anyway. But he's done some like great things, like American Crime Story? You know, no crime, like the crime series.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Didn't he do the OJ story on FX? That the Bill Clinton
I couldn't get through that one.
That one was good too. I liked that one. It was not the most entertaining, but it was good acting from everybody, so I liked it. But like all this kind of stuff, so it feels like when you compare it to that, this was at the bottom, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just felt very irresponsible.
Yeah.
It felt like, for a gay man especially, you know, we were not ready to bring in boys being abused by their father. Like, we didn't know how to deal with that. It just felt like it had to be a lie because it was too absurd.
Yes.
So I would have thought that because for Ryan Murphy to give it this angle of like, maybe they were fucking, like they liked it. It's like, no, dude, Lyle abused Erik at one point. That wasn't something they enjoyed. Like, this was, so what it's made me do is go back. I've been consuming all the Menendez content I can, because I'm like, what did I miss? Because I do have questions. For example, the stuff that is accurate is Lyle did do, like, he was having phone conversations with someone who made it into a book.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was saying shit like, I knew I would get that jury to cry or whatever. Now, and I don't get that. That doesn't make sense to me. But I also have to constantly remind myself, these were kids that were raised by this horror show of a human being who taught them that money and power and cheating and stealing and lying was the only way to do it.
Don't get caught. Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't get caught. Like, so the life lessons they were given growing up, they were getting like raped by their dad, and then also being told like, you have to succeed and I'll do whatever it takes, and getting them out of trouble and all this stuff. So like, I don't know if Lyle was just doing a persona with this woman, you know, like I knew it because maybe they were very uncomfortable owning that this really did happen to them and having everyone know that this happened to them. That was also like crazy. Like, now everyone's going to hear this, and then for them not to be believed by some people, like I think that by now we know it happened. There were there's cousins. I have footage I was digging up interviews with the cousins who were like, oh yeah, no, when they went down that hall and shut that door, we weren't even allowed to go on the same floor.
Yeah.
And I would hear, like one of the guys says, I would hear like an, like that kind of thing. And when I went to go help, Kitty was like, stay back there. Like, Kitty knew. So when they left it all open-ended, I'm like, look, I get that. I don't know if I believe that they thought they were really going to be killed by their parents in that moment.
Right.
That part, I don't know if I can really, like, the way they tried to make it seem like it was now or never. And like they were going to go in the other room and get a gun or something. However, I don't know what it's like to grow up in an environment like that where like your brain is not working right. Okay.
Right.
So I thought that, yes, they gave the actor who played Erik a great episode, The Hurt Man. Excellent. I also was, I couldn't tell if it worked, but I'm seeing a lot of people thought it did work.
Yeah.
And I think what's so impressive about it is that the actor was able to do that whole thing in one take.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, like this was one take. Like that is it. Like this was
He
one
was
take.
able and actually showed that he can act too. So
And I was
that's
like,
what I really like.
And I'm also thinking like, damn, he had to memorize a lot of dialogue. Like you got to memorize this. Like you can't have your notes in front. Like you need, this is a lot of dialogue. Okay. It's all 45 minutes. So it was very, very good. But Ryan Murphy did an interview with Vanity Fair, and he says, this is what I get what he was going for. He says, every episode shifts perspective to a certain degree, where we ask you as the audience to make the decision about what really happened. Because we're going off research and theories and court testimony and research that nobody else has access to. I get it. But then you included the part about Erik being gay. And he actually outwardly said, I'm not gay. I know that was something the prosecution brought up at trial, but I'm not gay. He's been married to a woman for years now.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this just felt like Ryan Murphy's creepy sexual fantasy about it. Like when he thinks of the Menendez brothers, he's like, ooh, these hot boys. Because like they were unnecessarily attractive. Okay. I did not need to see him. I did not need to like, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it, but I didn't like, didn't feel appropriate that I'm like, why do you have this guy nearly showing me his dick? And then why do you have me showing me his dick when we're talking about how they were abused by their father as children?
Yes. All of that.
It feels so fucked. So I get wanting to do like different perspectives, but something that should not be in question is whether or not they were abused.
Let me ask you, because I feel like that brings up kind of an age-old question maybe. Do you feel like when people do this kind of stuff, when they like go and do something historical, but like recent historical, like enough where like people are alive, do you think they should involve those people, or should they just do adequate research on their own? What do you think?
Fuck yes,
involve
I do.
them.
Because it's up to you to then judge. Like if you speak to them and you're like, oh, they sound like they're just lying, then use that.
Right.
And like I'm right there with Erik released his scathing post about how like I know Ryan Murphy isn't ignorant. I know this was intentional.
How did he watch it? That's my.
I know. Well, they've been. I think because and also something I'm very happy to report. For the longest time, they were separated. They have been reunited. I think it was in like 2018. They were finally. I'll read it. They were finally reunited when Erik moved to Lyle's unit. First, they were moved to the same prison. Then they got moved to the same. Okay, it was really sweet. Let me tell you. Lyle and his brother, they both just burst into tears immediately when the guard opened the door. They just hugged each other for a few minutes without saying any words to each other. Then the prison officials let them spend an hour together in a room. That must have been so amazing for them.
Right.
So now they're back together. I feel like at this point now, since they've been incarcerated so long, and they've done really great things as I don't like calling them inmates. That's actually not what we're supposed to call them anymore. People who are incarcerated. How about that? I think that they get all these extra liberties after just having been incarcerated for so long. So like, if they know something like that's coming out, they'll be like, okay, we'll set it up so that you can watch it or something. I have a feeling that's what it is. Like they're humanizing them, which they should.
I can imagine how uncomfortable that was watching that. Like you not know like anything about this, and you're watching, you're like, what story are you telling right now? Like, my God.
Right?
Ooh.
Yeah. So I just thought, what a weird perspective after all these years to bring to this story. Like we don't not know what happened. We know that happened, but the fact that it makes it seem like you don't believe them, Ryan Murphy, it makes it seem like you're also hinting that maybe Erik was the mastermind who wanted to bring it. I'm like, what? I don't know.
Choices were made. Choices were definitely made.
Yeah. And then I do want to know though, how, because Erik does in the Erik Tells All one that I watched, he says that OJ did get put in the cell next to him. And
I think that was on the NBC one too.
Yeah. But my question is now, because I'm sure he didn't know what the case was. I'm sure because he was incarcerated and maybe didn't see it. But like now I'm like, so do you think OJ did it?
Right.
Now that you know, like
exactly.
I love that you were giving him advice, but do you know what was?
Do you know something we don't? Like,
You know what I mean?
I'm just saying.
But okay, wait, yeah, the Aaron Hernandez one I also watched, and I was like, it's just he doesn't in any way look like him, and it's very distracting.
Yeah, I can definitely
yeah.
like I get they were going for the aesthetic. Like I do like when because looks in terms of like looking just like the person you're portraying, not really like it's not a deal breaker for me. It never has been, but I think in this case because it's so like still recent and top of mind, especially after Netflix like did that great docuseries that they did about it. It almost you know, it kind of feels, I don't know. It is distracting a little bit. Not so much to take me out of the story, but it is kind of like I'm watching the show that I'm like, oh, that's Aaron Hernandez. Like I remember at some point, I'm like, oh, that's Aaron Hernandez. That's right. That's the story I'm watching right now. Instead of just, oh, that's a tatted up college student that is good at football. It's like, oh no, that's Aaron Hernandez. And that's a lot of the casting choices were choices because like Cam Newton, I was like,
I know
that's Cam Newton. Okay, like you know.
It's feeling like it's like the B team.
Right, exactly.
That's what it feels like. It feels like it's like, oh, we couldn't get the all right.
Right.
So yeah, that's my opinion. I'm going to be making some more Menendez brother content though, because now I'm like back on the obsession. And what's weird is Ryan Murphy acknowledges in his interview with Vanity Fair that there was a whole resurgence on TikTok of support for these boys because, you know, the younger generation the younger generation paid attention to the trial and then sort of posting like, wait a minute, like we just didn't have the language to understand what this was, but now we do, and we need to take a better look at this. And also proof that it did happen. One of the members of Menudo came forward and said that Jose Menendez raped him.
Oh, because he didn't know what the hell he was doing. He just signed people to sign him. He just jumped in the music industry for no damn reason.
There was a Peacock documentary about it. It's like Menendez and Menudo or something like that. And so so it's like it's verified. This guy was a monster. So like we need to decide that they should. They've been incarcerated for 35 years. I feel like at this point they could be released. Huh?
Yeah. Though the name of the documentary, Boys Betrayed. Yep.
Is that what it's called?
Menendez and Menudo, Boys Betrayed.
Oh, I didn't realize it was called. Ooh, okay, yes, that one. That's on Peacock. And also, I looked up the Menendez murders. Erik tells all. I just set it into my TV, and you can find a few things on YouTube, but I believe you can buy it, or if you have cable, like the A&E app or Freevee, or that's what I was watching on Freevee. But like just Google it. You can probably find footage if you're interested. But I'll be making more content about it throughout the week because now I'm obsessed.
Right. I know that's right.
And which is so like maybe that was the good thing Ryan Murphy did. But like so many people were messaging me saying, you know, I don't know anything about this story, so I'm only going off of this show. And I'm like, oh, that's right. What I'm worried about.
Meanwhile, we're like true crime heads.
Yes.
So like yeah.
And I forget that a lot of people don't do what we do, you know, which is like know every single story. Like okay. Last thing before I go, I'm going to give you guys a rec if you haven't watched it. Because Kendrick, I really need you to watch this too.
Okay.
It's called, oh shit, wait, what's it called? Hold on. I have so many notes right now. It's insane. It's called Little Miss Innocent. It's on Hulu. It's 3 parts. And it is the story of Caitlin, who is currently serving time for the murder of, the mother of her ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
So they present it in a very interesting way because you get episode 1, here it's presented like this. Then episode 2, okay, here's a different angle. Episode 3, you're like, what? So I need everyone to watch it because I want to talk about it next week because it's good. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's a think piece.
I know what I want to ask you about. And damn it, I'm mad because I can't. Hold on, give me like 2 seconds. I can't think of the name of it, but there's a new true crime docuseries out on Netflix. And let me see if I know the name, but damn it, I can't find the name of it. It's like, I don't know,
what's it about?
The woman, I want to say like somebody's daughter goes missing.
Into the Fire,
yes. Okay, have you watched it? Was it good? I haven't gotten a chance yet. Okay. I heard it was
Very
like
good.
need to. Okay.
Into the Fire was good. It was
Perfect.
dark. It was. It
Ooh.
also makes you think. We could talk about that one next week too, if you're going to get into that one. Yes.
I think okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Which one should I prioritize?
Oh my God. Prioritize.
No, I always need to know.
I would go Little Miss Innocent.
Okay.
Just because there's more thought involved with Little Miss Innocent. But Into the Fire is still really good. So if you can watch that.
Okay. I'm making my sister watch both with me. So yep. Okay.
Michelle in the chat said Kim Kardashian visited the Menendez brothers. I hope they realize she is connected to Ryan Murphy. She shouldn't be trusted.
Oh. And connected to OJ too, but we're another story for another day.
Right. You're right. Good point. All right. On that note, this has been a little bit long. Kendrick, thank you so much for joining me every Sunday. It's the best. It's my favorite episode I ever do. You guys make sure you're following Kendrick with Kendrick Tucker on the platforms, and his podcast, I Cannot, is available everywhere you get your podcasts. We are covering over on his podcast. We covered industry on 2 different episodes. He's covering industry every week. So make sure to check that out if you need industry on HBO coverage. If you're not watching industry on HBO, I cannot recommend the binge enough.
So good. So good.
Right? So good. But okay, on that note, guys, I love you so much. Mean it. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.